China is working on its official sixth-generation fighter program. China is busy developing next-generation fighter program, similar to US next-generation air dominance, as per General Mark D. Kelly, the head of Air Combat Command. General Kelly expects that the profoundly cryptic Chinese endeavors will yield a similar sort of air battle arrangement of frameworks that the US Air Forceis is seeking after, including a sixth-generation monitored fighter stream. There are thunderings that China could be dealing with a sixth-generation airplane program, similar as its partner in the West. As the competition between the different sides heightens, higher echelons in the US military are beginning to raise the stakes. The head of the US Air Battle Order, General Imprint Kelly, has stated that the US Air Force should ensure it handles its next-generation fighter first, since China is on target to deliver a sixth-generation fighter. General Imprint Kelly last week, he talked at the Air and Space Power Affiliation's Air, Space, and Digital Gathering, noticing, "I can't see you today what's happening in China with the exception of their anticipating their 20th Public Party Congress, in October. In any case, I can see you what's not occurring. They're not having a discussion over the importance of 6th-gen air strength. What's more, I can likewise let you know they're on target." These remarks come when the US is seeking after the Next Generation Air Predominance, NGAD, program in full sincere. At the core of the Next Generation Air Dominance is a monitored sixth-generation secrecy fighter fly with cutting-edge and never-before-seen capacities. The US Air Force needs to ensure we get to 6th-gen air predominance essentially a month prior to our rivals, Kelly said. This is demonstrative of the worries among the USAF higher-ups in regards to an obscure Chinese sixth-generation program, of which nothing is out in the public space. The American next-generation air dominance has been portrayed as an arrangement of frameworks, implying that the monitored airplane would be joined or upheld with numerous assistant and helper airplane. We realize it will be viable with arising innovations, which can be integrated after some time without upsetting the airplane's essential flight framework. What's in store from next-gen fighters? As per Air Force Secretary Candid Kendall, the U.S. aviation-based armed forces is presently on target to handle its next-generation air strength group of frameworks constantly's end, turning into the principal sixth-generation fighter client. In 2020, they help effectively test fluor-monitored next-generation air dominance model. Air Force Head of Staff General Charles Q. Earthy Cullard Jr. expressed that there may be two adaptations of next-generation air dominance, one with long-range missions for the Indo-Pacific, for China, and the other with more limited ranges between potential fight regions in Europe. The U.S. Naval Force and Air Force each have their sixth-gen fighter programs. Kelly expressed, during the roundtable, that China's concept of a sixth-generation fighter had all the earmarks of being like the American thought. The Chengdu Aviation Partnership's central planner, Wang Haifeng, guaranteed in a 2019 meeting that China was directing primer examination on a next-generation fighter to have another capacity prepared to safeguard the ocean and sky by 2035. In spite of the fact that Wang didn't expound on China's plan, he referenced a few elements that he thought would recognize U.S. fighter capacity later on, including the ability to work with drones, the use of artificial intelligence, advancements in stealth, and more. He added that plans could utilize less certain troublesome innovation like robot multitudes, lasers, and versatile motors. On the subject of a sixth-generation fighter, a tactical master told the Worldwide Times, China's practice is to have one generation in help, another one being developed, and a next generation under study. Now that the J-20 is now in help, it is likewise in progress to foster another airplane. The next-generation air dominance warplane is portrayed as having a three-sided shape and no upward tail in the craftsman's delivering. The sixth-gen fighter program will have a fighter fly with further developed speed, mobility, covetousness innovation, and man-made intelligence-helped information handling. The sixth-gen fighter is additionally being created to perform automated missions and partake in monitored independent joining, in which human pilots team up with drones and automated stages like faithful partner planes. The Chinese sixth-generation fighter stream could be anticipated to take on these equivalent highlights comprehensively spread out by the US aviation-based armed forces. Regardless of how fruitful the turn of events, testing, and creation of the sixth-gen fighter is, it can't reduce the truth of China's air power develop in all viewpoints: battle, operations, deadlock, accuracy, strike. While aggressive, China's capacity to send off a sixth-generation airplane by the mid-2030s is probably going to miss the mark concerning what the UK or US might have accessible at that point. Beijing will likely continue to get up to speed as it takes its most critical steps forward. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.